on the Hawkeye Sports Network from Learfield. Live from the Watermill Kitchen and Bar inside the Hyatt Regency in Coralville. This is Hawk Talk with Coach Ben McCollum. Brought to you by Honda. To see how Honda crushes the competition, see your local Central Midwest Honda dealer. Honda gets the Midwest. Iowa corn. You might think Iowa just grows corn, but the truth is corn grows Iowa. Brought to you by Iowa's corn farmers of the Iowa Corn Growers Association and the Iowa Corn Promotion Board. Your Iowa John Deere dealers. John Deere loves to see the Hawkeyes do their thing, because if anyone can appreciate building a legacy, it's Deere. Lennox and your local Lennox home comfort specialist. Made right here in Iowa since 1895. Extreme, powered by Mediacom. It's the internet dreams are made of. Mid-American Energy. Mid-American Energy is proud to deliver affordable, reliable energy to you all season long. By your local Ford dealers. Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle. Midwest One Bank is the presenting sponsor of Hawkeye men's basketball. Visit MidwestOne.bank for empowered money management. Member FDIC. Also brought to you by Shelter Insurance. The ball is in your court. Visit shelterinsurance.com to find an agent who can help you with your auto, home, and life insurance needs. University of Iowa Healthcare. Changing medicine, changing lives. And by U.S. Cellular, the official wireless partner of the Iowa Hawkeyes. U.S. Cellular, built for us. Here's the voice of the Hawkeyes, Gary Dolphin.
Hey, good evening, everybody. The Iowa men are back on the court Wednesday night, hosting the Southern California Trojans. And look at this. Yesterday up in Madison, USC knocked off the Wisconsin Badgers 73-71 behind Chad Baker Mazzara's 29 points. That included 5 three-point goals. Mazzara, a grad student who played at Auburn last year, also made 8 of 9 from the foul line. He and 6'10" Jacob Kofi, who grabbed 11 rebounds to go with 9 points and 5 assists, will invade Carver Hawkeye Arena Wednesday with momentum and a 15-5 record, 4-5 in the Big Ten. The Hawkeyes, they are well rested at 14-5 and 4-4 in conference play. The Hawks worked hard to hold off Rutgers 68-62 last Tuesday before they entered their first bye week of the season. So here we are, 2/3 of the way through the season. There are, roughly 10, 11 games remaining before postseason. Much to be accomplished. Much has been accomplished. And with that, we roll into Hawk Talk for another week with Iowa basketball coach Ben McCullum, who will join us shortly. Hawkeye star forward Tavian Banks is in the house. He will join Bobby Hansen and I. And on that note, let's welcome in Bobby Hansen. It's been a while since we've been at Carver or on the road for that matter, but an enjoyable week, I assume, for the players. I know they were looking forward to the break. Man, they played 20 games and didn't stop long to breathe.
Yeah, no doubt, Gary. And you come off a victory. That's what makes it even sweeter when you win the game versus Rutgers. Okay, it wasn't their best game, but you got a great performance. Once again, Bennett Sturtz, 20 points, played all 40 minutes. You got a great game from the freshman, Tate Sage. It was a Tate Sage game. So he was a delightful interview post-game. Talk about the freshman, Tate Sage. But then you can go into the break, couple days off, I assume, and then they get back to the lab, man. Get back working, get back to practice. I'm sure those kids were chomping at the bit to get back in the gym and work on their game a little bit ahead of a great stretch of basketball coming up. Starts with, as you mentioned, USC. A lot of confidence going to be coming in here to Iowa City on Wednesday after that big victory over Wisconsin. Enjoyed watching that game yesterday afternoon.
Yeah, Coach Musselman and the Trojans have had an up and down year, and on many rosters, Bobby, it's a brand new roster at USC. It was a year ago when we were out there, and the Trojans had their way with the Hawks. And yesterday in Madison, to go into the Kohl Center and knock off the Badgers, who'd really been playing well, that tells you all you need to know in terms of getting Iowa's attention for this game coming up Wednesday.
No doubt, Gary, and the toughness that USC showed, and Coach Musselman wouldn't let his team, let that one slide away. And in particular, Chad Baker-Mazara, a young man that last year, as you mentioned, played at Auburn, watched USC in the Thanksgiving tournament, the Maui Invitational, and he was phenomenal. I'm not sure, but they may have won that tournament, I think, USC. But they've had injuries along the way and have gotten healthy. Elijah Arenas, I know Gilbert Arenas' son, is a freshman for USC, and he had a knee issue and something else went on there, but he's back. He's not afraid to shoot. He was 3 of 12 last game, but he brings another dynamic to that team. And Ezra Azur, 7 of 8 from the free throw line. Was reading up on him while I was watching that game, and he's a tough guard inside, a little bit undersized, a lot like Cam Manyow, but when he gets the ball in there, he's looking to score. He's the kind of trigger guy, the relief valve, top of the key there, and you got to keep this team off the free throw line. Those two guys, Chad Baker-Mazara and Ezra Azur, those guys live at the free throw line.
Azur, undersized to your point, Bob. He's averaging 16 points. He's shooting 60%. That tells me he gets to the basket. He gets in deep and can jump fake or shot fake, pass fake, and get it in somehow. And he's averaging 6 rebounds a game. So he is an athlete.
Do you remember him at Utah?
I do.
Yeah, I know. It was like, whoa.
In the NIT.
That guy looks like a player. Yeah, and he had good games against the Hawkeyes there. So he'll know what he's up against there. And was at Utah, East Carolina before that. But he's a player at Liberty Heights Athletic Institute, 6'9", 253. That's a man inside there. So Hawks know what they'll have there. They got some guys that shoot 3. Rodney Rice was counted on, Gary, the first 6 games of the year. You remember him? He was at Maryland, and he hurt his shoulder, so he is out for the year. He was sitting there with a sling, his right shoulder, I think it was. So I don't know if he gets a red shirt or what. A junior, Rodney Rice there.
They got a couple of former Big Teners. Terrence Williams, I remember him from Michigan. Now, he has not played a whole lot. But he's getting about 13, 14 minutes. But he's capable. I mean, he's 6'7", 235 pounds, grad student out of Maryland. And Jordan Marsh is another kid out of UNC Asheville. Again, that's the state of college basketball these days, Bobby. They come from all over, and they might all be playing somewhere else next year.
Yeah, you just don't know. That's why you gotta pay attention, I guess. And I watched as much as I could this weekend. Some great basketball all over the country and all over the Big Ten. And what a performance by Illinois.
Oh, my goodness.
The freshman.
How about Wagler?
Wagler came in there 46 points for a freshman, a Mackey Arena record. I was thinking, didn't Luka Garza? No, Luka had 46 at Michigan, I think, was the opposing team high for that one. But he was phenomenal. And, yeah, there were 5 freshmen that all over 30 points this weekend. And all of them are first-round draft choices.
Wagler could not miss. That was a great game to watch. I'm sure Matt Painter had a hard time stomaching it. But, when Illinois shoots the lights out in Mackey Arena like that, you just tip your cap to them and move on. And I think it speaks volumes, big picture, how many good teams in the Big Ten there are that are probably going to be playing in March.
Yeah, absolutely. At least 10. Gary, you got 18 right now, but you're going to get 10, 11 teams, depending on how the Big Ten tournament rolls around. But every night it's a dogfight. Every night you're in for a fight when you go into these games, and so important that you protect your home court. So important that you get a big crowd to come out there and support these kids. And as Ben says, sometimes a crowd or a home crowd is worth 10 points.
And let's hope it's worth 20 on Wednesday night. By the way, the game is the annual Suits and Sneakers game for coaches versus cancer. And there's also a connection at play. Of course, they'll be honoring George Raveling, not only a great Hall of Fame basketball coach, but a civil rights leader and a very integral part of the Iowa basketball program in the 80s. He was kind of the connection between Lute Olson and Dr. Tom Davis, recruited the likes of Roy Marble and B.J. Armstrong and players like that. And they're going to honor George with George after he retired. He coached at Iowa, then went to USC, then went to Nike. And so both teams are going to be donning a special pair of Nike sneakers, basketball shoes, for this game Wednesday. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's awesome. I remember George when he was coaching Washington State, and then he did some
to Iowa from Washington State.
Yeah, and he did a little TV, during the off season there, and then Bump Elliott went out and found him and got his man, George Raveling, ahead of his time. He used to wear that warm-up like all the coaches, most of the coaches wear nowadays.
So lots to enjoy and take in, a lot of color and pageantry when Southern Cal and Iowa face off on Wednesday night. There are tickets available for the game. Adults $30 to $50, kids 15 to 25 through the Iowa Athletics ticket office. Call 1-800-IA-HAWKS or log on to HawkeyeSports.com. You can book your own tickets, pick them up at Will Call when you arrive. And it's an early start, which Bobby and I really like. It's a 6 p.m. start, 5 o'clock for the pregame show here on the Hawkeye Radio Network. Speaking of dogs and ready to go, Tavian Banks, boy, what an integral part of the program he's been, hand to glove with Bennett Sturtz. You mentioned Tate Sage, the freshman, 17 points the other night. Tavian, he's got to like this matchup with USC.
Oh, yeah, he's going to be ready to go, no doubt. A senior leader. Tavian is sixth man of the year in the Missouri Valley Conference last year with that 31-win Drake basketball team in the starting lineup. Now, versatile player, Gary. He's a utility knife. This guy can guard 5 positions if you had to. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him on Azure every now and then. He'll have a lot of not even on here, of Chad Baker Mazzara. He'll have a lot of him, and that'd be a great matchup. 2 guys, 6'7".
Tavian Banks will join us. He's our player guest this week here on Hawk Talk with Coach McCullum. He'll join Bobby and I next when we come back to the Hyatt Regency and the Watermill Kitchen and Bar. It's another season of Hawk Talk here at the Watermill Kitchen and Bar. We're located right next, indoor, right next to the Hyatt Regency in the heart of the Iowa River Landing. Come try their brand new winter menu. And I think it is winter, isn't it? Last time I checked the temperatures and the wind chill. But how about a dish of duck stroganoff, farmer's pie, meat and potatoes, or a cinnamon-crusted rack of lamb while listening to engaging conversations about Hawkeye basketball. To learn more about their menu, all you need to do is visit watermillkitchen.com, watermillkitchen.com. We're brought to you tonight by U.S. Cellular, the official wireless partner of the Hawkeyes. U.S. Cellular reminds you that on game days, your hands are for cheering, not texting, because game days are built for the Hawks. U.S. Cellular, built for us. And speaking of texting, you can reach us in a variety of ways here to have your question answered by or comment answered by Coach McCullum. You can hear us on the Hawkeye Radio Network, of course, but we want to thank Mediacom Channel 22 on 822. India, Michael and Jeff are here beaming our show throughout eastern Iowa and central Iowa. Mediacom Channel 22 on 822. You can reach us on Twitter at Gary Dolphin, on Facebook at facebook.com/Voice of the Hawks, through Instagram at Voice of the Hawkeyes, Instagram at Voice of the Hawkeyes. The U.S. Cellular text line reads 319-853-8344, 319-853-8344. Or email us your Hawk Talk question to hawktalk@HawkeyeRadioNetwork.com. We're off and running from the Watermill Kitchen and Bar here at the Hyatt Regency, and we'll be back to talk to Tavian Banks when we return on Hawk Talk from Learfield.
You might think Iowa grows corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa. Corn can even fuel your drive to watch the Hawkeyes play when you choose Unleaded 88. It's a fuel that's cheaper, cleaner, and greener. Plus, it's homegrown, making Unleaded 88 the clear choice at the pump and totally worth the hype. So as you head to cheer on the Hawkeyes this season, don't just fuel up. Pump it up with Unleaded 88. Find Unleaded 88 at a station near you. Go to iowacorn.org/88.
Can you think of anything that costs the same today as it did 10 years ago? There isn't much. That is, unless you're a Mid-American Energy customer. Thanks to all the renewable energy we're generating, our customers pay nearly the same rate for electricity today as they did back when we were all singing, "Call Me Maybe." And with Mid-American making even more investments in clean energy, you can count on enjoying those same affordable rates for the next decade. Now that's obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
RE/MAX is the official real estate partner of Iowa Athletics, and we understand there's a number for everything: square footage, down payment, interest rates. But how do you measure the trust you have in your agent? For a RE/MAX agent, it's not about numbers on a contract. It's being a trusted RE/MAX agent. That means you'll get honest advice, expert guidance, and someone who's committed to your success. Because while numbers count, trust is what truly matters. RE/MAX, the official real estate partner of Iowa Athletics. Each office independently owned and operated.
You asked for all the extreme internet performance at an all-in price, and we listened. Get 1 gig internet with a 2-year price lock and everything included. Unlimited data for non-stop streaming, powerful Wi-Fi for enhanced coverage, built-in online threat protection, and internet equipment. All for just $65 a month for 2 years. It's the extreme 1 gig internet deal you asked for. Call 844-4FASTER or visit extreme.com for details. Offer available to new customers only. Price doesn't include one-time charges, tax, and government fees.
Hawk fans, stop in and visit the newly renovated guest rooms at Hyatt Regency Coralville Hotel and Conference Center, located in the heart of Iowa River Landing. Stay within walking distance of Xtreme Arena, home of the Iowa Hawkeye volleyball team, as well as great restaurants, shopping, and scenic walking trails along the Iowa River. Hyatt Regency Coralville is also the home of Hawk Talk with Jan Jensen and Ben McCullum. Come together at Hyatt Regency Coralville, where everything you need is right here.
Hi, this is Coach Jan Jensen inviting you to join me for Hawk Talk, live from the Watermill Kitchen and Bar inside the Hyatt Regency at the Iowa River Landing. We'll talk Hawkeye women's basketball, answer your questions, and have a lot of fun along the way. The show airs weekly on the Hawkeye Radio Network. Check the full schedule at HawkeyeSports.com. I'd love to see you there. Go Hawks!
And welcome back to Hawk Talk, presented by the Hyatt Regency and live from the Watermill Kitchen and Bar and Learfield. Iowa and USC coming up Wednesday night, 6 o'clock. Tip, 5 o'clock for the pregame show here on the Hawkeye Radio Network. I'm Gary Dolphin alongside former Hawkeye great Bobby Hansen. And let's welcome Tavian Banks to the headset. Tavian, one of the outstanding players this year for Coach McCullum in that rotation. He enters play this week after a nice 7-day, 8-day break. Tavian is averaging 11 points, 4 rebounds, shooting 56% from the field, and you're just under 80% from the foul line. Your stat line is outstanding, but you're a grinder. You're as much physical as you are offensive-minded, and you need that in this league, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Sorry to pull that down a little bit. There you
go. Most definitely, I have to be a little bit more physical with the bigger guys, and just playing all different positions is it's a lot, but like understanding it opens like a lot of opportunities for me and a team.
How are you adjusting to the rigors of Big Ten basketball? I mean, these games really come at you in a hurry, don't they?
Oh yeah, they most definitely do. It's like just learning while you're on the run, most definitely. So it's pretty fun, and just I'm enjoying the journey of learning it all.
But you come over with your guys, though. You come over from Drake, what, 5 of you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes it easier. Kale, and then Isaiah. 4 of you, I guess, came over. Joey Mattioli.
Yeah, Joey.
5.
Yeah.
Cam, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And most definitely made it easier because we first started playing. Well, Bennett been with Ben McCollum for a couple of years now. Yeah. But me, Cam, Kale, and Isaiah Howard and Joey, we're just learning the program a little bit more. So it's just very fun to be with them, and then the new guys that were here already, and Brandon and Alvaro.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's most definitely fun. Just
talk about the break. You had a nice little just mental break, too, after you knock off Rutgers and then take a little break, get back in the classroom, and I'm sure you guys are all ready to go to get back in the practice floor.
Well, yeah, when it comes to a break with Coach Mack, is most definitely not really a break because we're still in the gym.
Shocking. That's good.
Yeah.
Shocking.
Yeah. So, yeah, it felt good to be back in school, and, the break felt good. I'm 100% now. I'm feeling way better.
Yeah, you were sick for a while.
Yeah, you had that flu thing going there.
Yeah.
Oh, I liked it, though. You kept saying, yeah, I'm about 80%. I asked him that after the Indiana game. 26 points, 8 rebounds, made 8 of 12 from the foul line. 9 of 9 from the free throw line. But I said, you 100%? You go, I'm about 80%. Keep that 80% going because you play better when you got the flu. And I'm only kidding, of course. But you're back to 100% now.
Yeah, I'm back at 100%.
That Indiana game, I mean, you and Sturtz were just what a combo. And I'm guessing you know the history of Indiana basketball, all these great arenas in the Big Ten that you're playing in. I'm guessing you get a little extra juiced up when you go into an arena like that.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Including I had a couple friends from the other team too, so it was most definitely a very competitive atmosphere. So I think it was pretty fun and just enjoyed the crowd and just seeing everybody smiling and our fans that came there. I'm most definitely I'm happy to see them. They traveled a long way to get there too, so I'm still happy.
Back-to-back wins now with Indiana and Rutgers, and even in the road losses, 3 points at Minnesota. Played Purdue out of their sneakers, had a chance to win that game, had a double-digit lead, but it's all a learning process. But I would think even in those defeats, you've gained additional confidence, not only you, but as a team.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I wouldn't say they're losses. They're most definitely lessons.
For sure. That's a good point.
Yeah. Tavian, where does this team improve, having said that?
I say we most definitely improve. And just after we lost, nobody put their head down. The next day we had practice, we just went harder. And we just went at each other. And it's we wanted to get better, and Mac wanted us to get better, and now the whole team is hungry. Yeah. So we're gonna just keep improving on those things and just hope for a better season.
Yeah, Coach was talking about defensively.
Yeah,
up that hedge and how you worked that defensively. There was a couple of mistakes. I'm not pointing at you, but just as a team, and that's things that you can improve on.
Yeah, the little errors that we have, we want to fix those. So on defense, we most definitely want to fix those things, and we don't want to give up second chance rebounds for the other team. So those are the things we're working on, so we can just go 100% at everything, the little things.
Yeah, and I told Dolph, introducing you, it's I think this is a guy, if I was a coach, this is a guy that can guard all 5 positions.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not afraid of a point guard or a guy 7'5" that you may see here tomorrow. So bring him on, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
On that note, a follow-up on Bobby's comment there. So defensively, what's most important to you? Is it posture? Is it strength? Is it a combination of a lot of things?
I would say it's a combination of a lot of things. When I play defense, I don't try to think about anything else but getting the stop or messing up their offense.
Getting in their way.
Yeah, getting in their way. And just try to give us extra possession.
Tavian Banks is 6'7", a little above 200 pounds. Grew up in Kansas City. He's averaging almost 11 points, 4.5 rebounds. Shooting percentages are outstanding. You're a top-notch defensive player. Growing up in Kansas City, when did you first fall in love with the game of basketball? Do you remember?
Well, at first, it was when I was watching LeBron against the Spurs.
Of course.
Yes, I'm a big LeBron
You even
fan.
remember the game against the Spurs.
Yeah. So one of my mentors, Nody Newton, he made us watch the LeBron documentary, and we had to write about it when I was probably 7.
I said LeBron's been playing longer than you've been alive. Yeah. To be honest with you, when you do the math.
What is LeBron? Is he 40?
41.
41.
Yeah. Been playing 24 years, I think.
Unbelievable.
22 years, something like that.
It's between 22, 23.
Yeah, it's crazy how he keeps himself.
Bobby played with MJ. He played with Jordan in Chicago. So that time immemorial argument about who's better, LeBron or Jordan, it's hard to compare guys that played 2 different positions.
Yeah.
Really a guard to a power forward. LeBron could play all 5 positions too, but a lot of great players now. I grew up a big Cincinnati Royals fan because Oscar Robertson was one of my heroes growing up. And then they moved to Kansas City, and they were the Kansas City Kings.
Oh, yeah.
And Tiny Archibald. Nate Archibald was a great player. These names probably don't mean anything to you, but man.
Do you remember when – you probably don't remember. apologize for asking, but they were the Kansas City Omaha Kings. They split time between two cities. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it is pretty crazy. I heard a little bit of, like, a couple stories about it, but I wish we still had a basketball team in Kansas City.
Yeah, they play in the old Kemper Arena, which is Hy-Vee Hall now, I think, down there in that stockyard area.
Oh, yeah.
Kansas City, yeah.
They made the playoffs with regularity back in those days. Let's take a couple questions for Tavian before we let him go. On Twitter, Mike's in Iowa City. Tavian, what's been the biggest adjustment for you this season playing at the Big Ten level?
I would say the speed of the game is it's like really different from Drake, where I transferred from. It's definitely different. I would say I had to like do a lot of more conditioning and push myself through it.
Got to be in shape, man.
Yes, sir.
Tyler from Davenport, Quad Cities. What's one thing Coach McCullum is constantly on you about in practice? Be honest now. You got to have one flaw in your game that he's on you about. Come on.
You really don't say much to me because I always go I try hard. Like I go hard every practice.
Oh, he appreciates that.
Yeah.
I know he does. He's probably thinking about something he'd like to.
Well, okay. I would say now that you say it, I remember one time practice was really slow, and he was just like, "You're not being." He said, "I never lie to you, T, but you're not trying right now." So
he does have that sixth sense about him, doesn't he?
Yeah, he do.
He can sense when guys aren't giving their all.
Yeah.
Well, you're probably giving 99%. Okay. Jake in Des Moines, how would you describe your role on this team, and how has it evolved as the year has pressed on? What do you feel your primary role is?
I was saying being a leader, alpha on the team. Same thing I said when I first got here. Just being a leader and just setting like a prime example for the team, and just helping them out, help the team out, the younger guys get better.
Team has to have leaders.
Yeah, how about the free throw streak? I mean, you're automatic. You're money from the free throw line, 22 in a row, I think. That you're working on, and your three-point shot is outstanding.
I try to stay consistent with it since I got the contacts now, so I can see the rim now.
You got contacts, so that helps.
Oh, there you go. There's a little known fact. Contacts.
Yeah. For all you young players out there, you can't shoot. Get some contacts.
The improved vision. So what is Bohannon reached Chris Street's record, and then he intentionally missed the one, right?
Yeah, everybody had their name to it.
What is it, 36? 36. So you only got 14 to go to reach the infamous Chris Street and Jordan Bohannon. I mean, keep it going.
Yes, sir.
Keep making free throws. A couple more for Tavian Banks here. Our player guest this week. Let's see. Amanda is right up the road in North Liberty. Who's the funniest guy on the team, and who keeps things loose on road trips? I guess that'd be one and the same.
I would say Brendan Hausen.
Brendan Hausen.
Yeah.
Really?
He's pretty funny.
Okay.
We call him Coach. We call him Coach JB. He loves football, and just between him, Tate, and just the other guys, younger guys, they just keep it interesting.
Well, Brendan's talkative.
Yeah.
He's not afraid to carry on the conversation, right? Okay.
Yeah.
One more. Let's go up to Waterloo. Kyle, Tavian, what's been your favorite moment in a Hawkeye uniform so far? Indiana? I tell you, the West Coast trip you played well on. Palm Springs?
Palm Springs.
Yeah, you played well there against Ole Miss and Grand Canyon, but is there a favorite play or a special moment or a special game?
I would say a special game. It was the first game against RMU.
Against who?
Robert Morris.
Yeah,
Robert Morris.
Yeah, Robert Morris.
First time you put that uniform on.
The debut.
Yeah.
That's a good comment.
Yeah, just to get to meet the fans and, just the atmosphere, because I never played in an arena that big before. But that was just packed out. I felt like it just brought energy to me because everybody was screaming and the arena got so loud. It just felt like a dream come true.
And it's getting louder.
Yeah.
Keep winning, babe. One more. Hannah from West Branch. If you could send one message to Hawkeye fans heading into the rest of the season, what would it be?
I would say that thank you for coming out and supporting us, and by them supporting us, we're serving them.
Pack the place.
Pack the place. Right? We love the support. We love the energy. We love that y'all keep the arena loud, and when we're walking around on campus or when we're out shopping, y'all come up to us and say hello and just It's not just, oh, hey, can we get a picture date?
Well, I love the line you do at the end of games. Win or lose, you go over and meet the kids and the fans. And I've heard so much from the fans about how they really appreciate you guys doing that at the end of games. Yeah. So that's great. Keep it up.
I was going to ask Tavian before we let you go. I always like to ask players growing up. Gary asked you how you fell in love with the game of basketball, but your high school coach, your AAU coach, always good to give them a shout out and a thank you for all the time that they put in for you. So anybody special you want to mention?
Most definitely. I want to shout out to Nody Newton, my mentor. He was my AAU coach.
What was the program?
It was Adidas Gauntlet. Yeah, pray and play. I want to give a shout out to my high school coach, Lucas Patterson, because that's where my journey really started.
Yeah.
What high school did you go to in Kansas City?
Well, I went to high school in Kansas City, and I went to Ruskin. I went to Ruskin High School for my senior year. I transferred, and I went to Minnesota for 2 years. I reclassified. Yeah.
You went to Minnesota High School? Minnesota Prep?
Yeah, Minnesota Prep.
Great. You know, we got a lot of good football players out of the Kansas City area. You know, Blue Springs, Liddell Betts. And so when Tavian got to Iowa, I said, hey, Tavian, you know, you got the same name as one of the greatest football players in the history of Iowa, Tavian Banks. I said, I'm sure you know who it is. He looks at me and goes, never heard of him.
Spelled different.
Spelled different, but it also brought into focus the age difference between me and this Tavian Banks. But I assured him that the other Tavian Banks was really good.
Yeah, he was
really
good.
Really good. I think you believe me.
Yeah, I believe him.
Yeah, Ben. And Tavian, he was in Des Moines. The other Tavian was in Des Moines. I think he's in Florida now. He's big with the YMYWCA. So I'll give him your best when I see him.
Yes, running back, right? One Tavian.
Oh, man, was he ever. Broke Ed Podolak's single-game rushing record at Kinnick Stadium in the late 90s. Yeah, it was like 280 yards. Oh, wow. I think he rushed for 295 or 300, someone in there.
If I remember right, he's a Quad City kid, wasn't he?
Quad City, Bettendorf High School, and was a phenomenal soccer player. So he's got a lot of your ability.
Yeah.
All right, but good to see you. Thanks, T.
Tavian
Banks,
glad you're a Hawkeye, my
player guest tonight here on Hawk Talk with Coach McCullum, who will join us next here when we come back here at the Hyatt Regency and, of course, the Watermill Kitchen and Bar. We're brought to you tonight by Wellmark Blue Cross and Blue Shield. They know that quality coverage takes a great team, and with a Wellmark individual and family health plan, you can choose from thousands of in-network providers. Score great coverage and find the right plan for you at wellmark.com/covered. We're coming right back to the Hyatt and the Watermill Kitchen and Bar from Learfield right after this pause.
Dives for lunch.
The Juicy Lucy. Essentially, it's a burger, but with cheese on the inside.
James Beard Award winners for dinner.
French technique, but Midwestern ingredients. It's a little unbecoming to lick the bowl, but...
Plan your next trip at exploreminnesota.com.
Hey Hawks, this is Coach Ben McCullum inviting you to join me for Hawk Talk live from the Watermill Kitchen and Bar inside the Hyatt Regency. We'll talk Hawkeye hoops, answer any of your questions, and get a behind-the-scenes look at Iowa men's basketball. If you can't make it there, check out the full schedule at HawkeyeSports.com to listen. Go Hawks.
Go for the big Honda savings. Save thousands on the new Honda today with 0.99% financing. Go for the selection and inventory. Honda cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs are on sale. Get as low as 0.99% APR on a new 2025 Ridgeline. Go for the most car and driver 10 best awards with 98 trophies. Search your local Honda dealer today. See dealer for financing details. Financing on credit approval offer ends 3/2/26.
Iowa fans, with US Mode from US Cellular, you can keep your eye on the game, not on your screen. Whether you're inside the stadium, tailgating in the lots, or listening to the game at home, US Cellular wants you to focus on genuine connections with your family, friends, and fellow Hawkeye fans. That means at game time, you should do less scrolling and more cheering. So eliminate distractions and build connections by setting your phone to US Mode, because game day is for cheering on the Hawkeyes. Go Hawks! US Cellular, built for us.
Tournament Club of Iowa, designed by golf legend Arnold Palmer. TCI is his only signature course in the state. TCI is a public course offering a challenging yet enticing experience for golfers of all levels and is managed by Kaler Golf. Cap off your round with breathtaking views and a delicious meal at the TCI Bar and Grill. Looking for a unique setting for your wedding party or outing? Look no further than the newly renovated clubhouse at TCI. Visit tcofiowa.com to book your tee time today.
Hawkeye fans, gear up for game day with Big Grove. As an official craft brewery of the Iowa Hawkeyes, they bring you the ultimate game-watching experience. Sip on fan favorites like Easy Eddie, Citrus Surfer, and Neighborhood Beer while cheering on the Hawks. Can't make it to the stadium? No worries. Join them at any of their 4 Iowa locations in Iowa City, Cedar Rapids, Des Moines, and Solon. Big Grove Brewery, your official watch party headquarters of the Hawkeyes. Go Hawks!
In Minnesota, we don't hide from winter. We embrace it. When there's a nip in the air, we take on the trails. For every layer you wear, there's a new experience waiting for you.
It's a little unbecoming to lick the bowl, but...
Plan your next trip at exploreminnesota.com.
We're back on Hawk Talk live from the Hyatt Regency in the Watermill Kitchen and Bar. Gary Dolphin with Bobby Hansen. Coach McCullum will be joining us shortly. Iowa will take on Southern California coming up on Wednesday night, a special night. It's Nike coaches versus cancer suits and sneakers game. The Hawks will be wearing the Hawks and USC will wear custom Nike shoes with RAVE embroidered on them. And that, of course, is in honor and recognition of George Raveling, who was a Hall of Fame basketball coach not only at Iowa but at USC after he left Iowa. And, of course, a prominent civil rights leader. George served as Iowa's head coach from 1983 through 86, guiding the Hawks to back-to-back 21 seasons and a pair of NCAA tournaments. He then moved to L.A., where he was the head coach of the Trojans for 8 years, making 2 more tournament appearances and being named Kodak National Coach of the Year, Basketball Weekly Coach of the Year, Black Coaches Association Coach of the Year in 1992. George Raveling, who passed away here this past year, a mentor to Michael Jordan, as a matter of fact, and MJ's younger years at North Carolina and in the NBA. The Trojans and the Hawkeyes, an early tip, and that will be at 6 o'clock on Wednesday at Carver Hawkeye Arena. 5 o'clock for the pregame coverage here on the Hawkeye Radio Network. 14-5 Iowa taking on 15-5 USC. The Trojans coached by Eric Musselman. Let's check the scoreboard now. Brought to you by our friends at Community Choice Credit Union. There is one game in the Big Ten tonight. And at Ohio State, the Buckeyes lead Penn State 58-51. They're midway through the second half, 12:45 to play. Ohio State 58 and Penn State 51. A couple ranked teams in action. In fact, there is a top 25 matchup between 5th-ranked Duke and number 23 Louisville. And let's see, they've reached 12 minutes to play in that game down in Raleigh-Durham. And the Dukies, ranked number 5, lead the 23rd-ranked Cardinal 60-41. Later, it's top-ranked Arizona at number 13 BYU. That should be a humdinger of a game. Arizona and BYU clash in a Big 12 matchup at 8 o'clock Iowa time. That starts here in about 25 minutes. That's our scoreboard update. Of course, the Super Bowl opponents are set now for Super Bowl 60. A week from Sunday, it's the Seattle Seahawks against the New England Patriots. The Patriots, who won a handful of Super Bowl championships, and young quarterback Drake May taking on Seattle. And one Hawkeye on that Seahawk roster. Do you know who that is? It's rookie offensive tackle Mason Richmond. Left tackle, played left tackle for 3 years at Iowa. Seahawks are thinking about moving him inside to a guard spot, though. But Mason Richmond will be in uniform for Super Bowl 60 when they play out in Santa Clara or San Francisco here in about a week and a half. The Seahawks and the New England Patriots. That's our scoreboard update brought to you by Community Choice Credit Union. When we come back, we'll have Coach McCullum on board, and we'll preview the Hawks and Southern Cal coming up on Wednesday night. Next, we're brought to you tonight by University of Iowa Healthcare, here for you no matter where you are in the state, changing medicine and changing lives for all of Iowa and beyond. Visit uihealthcare.org. The Hawks in Southern Cal Wednesday. More on that in just a minute when we come back to the Hyatt Regency and, of course, the Watermill Kitchen and Bar. And our program is heard across the Hawkeye Radio Network and Learfield.
How do you become America's best-selling brand? Let's break it down. Innovative tech means smarter and safer driving. Intelligent all-wheel drive will keep you ready for anything. And built Ford Tough trucks will always get the job done. Plus, come into your local Ford store today and get super low APR financing, big cash back, and great lease offers on Ford's full line of cars, trucks, and SUVs. That's Ford, and that's how you become America's best-selling brand. Sales claim based on calendar year sales.
Hello, Iowa. Here's a promise. Wherever you are in this great state, University of Iowa Healthcare is here for you, even if you never walk through our doors. Educating, caring, leading research, sharing our expertise with all. Because we believe that UI Healthcare is here to make all of Iowa better. UI Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. Visit uihealthcare.org.
Despite the unshakable Iowa-Corn Cy-Hawk rivalry, there is one thing Iowa State and University of Iowa fans can both agree on. Getting hyped for unleaded 88. It's cleaner burning and better for your engine, and it's cheaper than other fuel options, making unleaded 88 the clear fuel choice. If Iowa Corn Cy-Hawk rivals can agree on it, you know it's worth the hype. So pump it up with unleaded 88, grown by Iowa corn farmers.
We love it when the Hawkeyes do their thing, because if there's anyone who can appreciate building a legacy, it's John Deere. We've been growing our team since 1837, recruiting the best thinkers, doers, and makers to craft innovations that outpace the competition. Because whether it's cultivating the earth with a tractor or reshaping it with a 40-ton excavator, the machines we build are building America. Nothing runs like a Deere.
Hi, I'm Gary Dolphin, and if you want your home to be exceptionally comfortable during these cold Iowa winters and hot, humid summers, you need to turn to Dave Lennox and your local Lennox home comfort specialist. Lennox has been serving Iowa consumers since 1895, when Dave Lennox built his first furnace in Marshalltown, and Lennox is still building its high-efficiency furnaces and air conditioners there today. For the best home comfort system you can buy, it's Lennox and your local Lennox dealer. Lennox and the Hawkeyes. Now there's a winning combination.
At Mid-American Energy, our 1.6 million customers depend on our energy 24/7. That's why we work 24/7 to deliver the safe, reliable energy you need. To keep our 99.9% reliability record, we're enhancing our technology, improving resiliency, and investing in critical infrastructure. We're generating power from all available resources to cover any increases in demand. And we're innovating to ensure you always have the energy you need. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Here comes more Hawk Talk with Iowa basketball coach Ben McCullum. Welcome back to the Hyatt Regency and the Watermill Kitchen and Bar. And Coach McCullum alongside now for the rest of the way. You can reach us on Twitter at Gary Dolphin, on Facebook at facebook.com/Voice of the Hawks. The Instagram locale is at Voice of the Hawkeyes. U.S. Cellular text line, you can dial it right now, 319-853-8344. Or email us your question to hawktalk@HawkeyeRadioNetwork.com. Iowa and USC on Wednesday night at Carver Hawkeye Arena at 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock for the pregame show. And here's Coach McCullum. We talked, 7-8 days ago, that you felt the bye week came at a good time. Normally when you win back-to-back games, you want to play the next day. So was it a good move to have this time off?
We'll find out Wednesday. I have no idea.
Good point.
It seemed good, at the time. I had a day break, just peace for a day. And then, once we got past that, then it's back to practice. And we've actually had really good practices. I feel like we've gotten better in a lot of departments. The trick is, you hope that there's not any rust. That's the trickiest part about these big breaks is, are we going to come out sluggish because of, not playing a real game for, an extended period. But I think emotionally our guys needed a break, and I think it has really helped them up to this point.
And I think it helps, too, that you got a lot of veteran guys.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously we've got Bennett, who's veteran. I know Tavian. We had 2 days off. We gave him 2 days off, and 2 day off Tavian's a different animal now. He's pretty good.
And he's 100% healthy. He said he got rid of the flu bug completely.
Yes, he's got rid of that. He's feeling good, and he had great couple practices, and Bennett's had some good practices. So, some of those older guys have had good ones, and then just trying to make sure that we keep our guys' confidence up. Some of the guys that aren't playing quite as well as they had at the beginning of the season, and I think we've done a good job of that.
And, Coach, we had Tavian on as our spotlight player here tonight. Just expand a little bit on him, what he means to this team and the leadership that he brings.
I mean, he gives us something that we really need, and that's just the edge that he plays with. I think he's obviously 6'6", 6'7", and long wingspan, probably a 7-foot wingspan, jumps out of the gym. He's very, very physical, and he looks strong. He's actually even stronger than he looks. I mean, he is strong. So he can guard multiple positions, so it really impacts our team defense. Offensively, he's really come into his own, and he's worked on it. I mean, he's probably shooting 50+% from three, taking great ones. Offensively, he's been finishing. He's a great offensive trigger man, meaning he gets in and out of screens consistently. And then, again, I kind of go back to it. He plays with a little more edge, a little more alpha, if you will, that we definitely need on this team.
Coach, I liked your comments after the Rutgers game when you said that we're unlike a lot of Big Ten teams, as you see them. We're built differently. We have to win differently. You got it done with gritty defense. Rutgers tried to make a couple runs at you in the second half. You ended up winning by 6. But I like those comments about, we got to keep playing the way we're playing, adjust to the opponent. We're different than most other teams in the Big Ten, and it's just the newness of it all with you as you build this program.
Yeah, I mean, every team obviously is unique from the other. And this one in particular, obviously we don't have a 7-footer. We've got bigger guards, but we've got smaller bigs. We don't have anyone with Big Ten experience on our entire roster. And so we didn't go out and now we had NIL and stuff like that, but it's not like USC's, I'll tell you that much. And so we've got guys that want to be here, and we have guys that are competitive and tough. Are we the most talent? I guess on paper you would say probably not, but there's other things that go into talent, and that's effort, that's enthusiasm, that's toughness, that's a talent too. Mm-hmm. You have to make sure that you show that talent consistently. And so when I say we're built different, that's part of our skill set, is our ability to be ready, our ability to play physical, our ability to give more effort than the opponent, stay more connected. When you don't use your talent, that's a problem. And so when I say we're built differently, that's what I'm referring to, is making sure that we use that current talent that we have. I mean, if you look at some of our losses, and I told our guys this today, you could very easily be 7-1 in the Big Ten. Purdue, you had a lead late. Illinois, you came all the way back. You just didn't show up the first however long. I thought that Michigan State put it to us pretty good. I thought we got beat pretty good in that game. But outside of that, those are all games that we should have had a chance to win or probably could have won. And so we have to understand we can still beat some of these teams regardless of what it is. And
Coach, as your bench continues to develop, evolve, Tate Sage has really come into his own. And Isaiah Howard, your leading rebounder, 6'5". He had 8 rebounds versus Rutgers. Those two guys, and Alvaro off the bench, he's going to give you what he's got every night. But just talk about Isaiah and Tate a little bit.
I mean, Tate first, he's obviously a true freshman that had, he's 0 stars. So,
yeah, it's crazy.
We
never saw him.
What's that?
Obviously, those people that give out stars never saw him.
Yeah, I mean, they give out stars to you when you're a freshman in high school. And so if you happen to grow or you happen to decide, like, maybe I just want to win in high school rather than average 30 points a game, sometimes you don't get those stars, and he didn't get them. And so good for us.
Yeah.
We saw him at Drake. We signed him at Drake. And then obviously he got out of his NIL or his NLI and wanted to come with us to Iowa. We weren't sure he was going to be this good that early. He's actually a little bit different player than we expected. We expected him to be more kind of 3-4-ish, 4-3-ish. He's more 2-1-ish. And that kind of surprised us a little bit, and he's all of 6'7", no fear. Isaiah Howard, you talk about no fear. He's more, kind of what I like, where he's just half nuts on the floor. I enjoy that thoroughly. That's kind of probably how I was.
Only half nuts. So.
Half nuts.
Only half nuts, yeah.
It depends on who you ask, Gary. It depends on who you ask. It depends on if we're winning or losing as to how nuts I am. But no, he just plays with his hair on fire. Like he is all energy all the time. He's cranked up. You never know what he's going to do. Sometimes it can be a train wreck, and sometimes it can just look as beautiful as it gets. But I love it, and he gives our guys a lot of energy.
He reminds me of a former New York Knick, John Starks.
There you go.
The way he plays. He's got
John
that
Starks.
hop and that fearless, going to go dunk on you. And tell you about it, too, when he does that.
He'll do that.
I don't know about Isaiah. But
he doesn't talk unless you talk to him. We've got some low-key trash talkers out there, so they're pretty good. It's part of the game. So,
Kirk Ferentz has one of my all-time favorite lines about stars. He goes, "I could care less how many stars you have when you're coming to Iowa. I'm only concerned about how many stars I can put in your helmet as you're leaving Iowa." That makes a lot of sense. A developmental program, a program that gets you bigger and stronger and teaches you a little different methodology on the game, whether it's basketball or football. And Bobby, as Ben was describing this year's team, it sounded a lot like the 1980 Final Four team. Nobody gave you guys a shot to win the Big Ten title, let alone get to the Final Four. You had a lot of guys, Craftsison and Waite and Vince Brookins, and guys that came from all parts of the country that weren't, heralded or widely recruited.
You had Ronnie Lester, who was
He's pretty good.
But he got hurt.
You notice I didn't mention Ronnie. Because he
got hurt. And Kenny was, and Kevin Boyle. Vince Brookins.
Kevin Boyle, that's right. Yeah.
Kevin. I talked to those guys yesterday. Talked to Vince this weekend. We lost Pat Guerin, local lady. She was married to Dr. Jean Guerin, and she was, a family to a lot of us there. So Vince wrote a beautiful letter. I heard that they read at the funeral this past weekend. And Kevin was up doing the game, watching you and I beat somebody. I can't remember who it was yesterday, but I was texting him during the game saying, "Finish this game, you and I." But, so that, to your point, Gary, that's a team that still stayed together almost 50 years later that talked to each other. And we lost Kenny, unfortunately, a couple years ago, and Mike Aaron's another one off that team. But a team that was really close, maybe not started out real close. They shared the Big Ten title the year before with Purdue and Michigan State and Magic Johnson. And Big Ten title, lost.
He was a good player.
Yeah. He wasn't bad. Magic wasn't bad, Coach.
Yeah, that was a team right there. That was my senior year in high school. But coming in, we had a bunch of injuries that 1980 year.
Mark Gannon wasn't he?
Yeah, Mark had a bad ACL. Yeah, so it was just a band of brothers, if you will. An overused term, but that team, we lived together. I mean, we lived at Hillcrest Dorm and really for all 4 years.
I wasn't born then, by the way.
Well, I was educating you then, I guess.
Now, my mom was probably going to school here
she was
in 1980, and then I was born the next year.
Well,
how about that?
I was around.
You're born a winner.
Watching that team.
Did you predict the Final Four for us this year? Is that what you just did?
Well, I didn't want to go, put it exactly to words.
So you just kind of subtly did that.
But I see some similarities.
I like it.
Band of brothers, guys that hang together.
Yep.
Ben McCullum, Lute Olson, a lot of Hall of Fame type similarities.
Great-looking guys, great hair.
Handsome
Both
dudes,
of us have great hair.
Yes.
The limited that I got left.
It's hanging in there, though, Coach.
That's right. It's hanging in there barely, but it's hanging on.
I know how you and Steve Craftsison are close. So I'm interviewing Lute one day, and I go, "Hey, the Twin Towers, Craftsison and Waite." I said, "What do you see in these guys? How did you find them? How did you?" And they both had knee braces at about 38 pounds, and he goes, "Well, they both can jump. Every time Craftsison jumps, I slide a piece of paper underneath his sneakers." And he's up to 4 sheets.
Yeah, that's probably about right.
That was his vertical.
Yeah.
But yet, look at how Craftsison played the game. Big heart,
he was
right?
great.
Smart.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. He was smart. How was he as a coach? I know he was your coach at Nyack.
Yeah, he coached you.
He was Special K. You know, he was goofy and funny, and then when it came down to compete, he was a fierce competitor.
What was his go-to play? He had to draw one up. Do you remember?
Oh, give the ball to his best player, get out of the way.
Get out of the way.
Yeah, that's the best plays that work. So
yeah. He like the guys inside. He was a good post-up player. We ran an inside triangle.
A little bit. He would run North Carolina's break because he had played for Dean Smith
there,
for that time. And then he went to the women's side, and honestly, his personality fit because he's such a goofy, fun-loving guy. He's just that kind of guy, and so he fit great on the women's side. I don't know. You know, I had one of my former assistants that went to the women's side, and you know, it is different coaching on. You know, it's just different, and his personality for some reason fit.
He loved it.
That side better.
Yeah, retired now, but I know when I talked to him about it, like, holy moly, I got 3 daughters. But how do you handle that? He just, I love it.
Yeah, so it's like you either have the personality for it or you don't, and vice versa. You know, I mean, there's certain personality traits that you know, coaching males as well, and so he was excellent at it though.
And I'd watch Coach Orr. Coach Orr was one of my all-time favorite people, and I'd look at Orr and Craftsison sitting next to him on the bench.
That's right.
State, and I'm thinking, are you kidding me? There is not a match made in heaven there. Special K.
He loved Johnny
and Coach Orr. Oh man, they were hand to glove. Yep. All right, we don't want to get off script here. Iowa, USC coming up Wednesday.
Well, that's people want to hear something.
We've only killed 12 minutes talking about.
They don't want to hear the serious stuff. They want to hear the goofy stuff.
Well,
it's more fun
I know. Some people in here, they're not dozing off, but I want to get to get to a couple of Twitter questions. This is Wilson. Your teams have always been efficient offensively with great ball movement and shooting. How are you adapting that style to compete against the physicality and talent level of the Big Ten, and what adjustments have stood out so far to you?
Yeah, I think from an offensive perspective, you'd kind of have to go back to the teams that we built at Northwest, and we had 5 guys that could shoot at all times. One of our teams and all of our teams as a group shot 40+% from 3. We had one team shoot 46. They ended up being 31-1, and then another one was 38-0. So really, our style of play is going to change as we recruit and get the players, exactly the players that we want for the system. But every year is always going to be unique based on your personnel. And so for this season, our personnel says that we have to play in the half court, but it has to be fast. So you'll see us get from action to action very, very fast, meaning this screen to that screen. It feels like it's coming at you 1,000,000 miles an hour, just because that's what we need to do based on our personnel. In the future, what we'd prefer is to have big guys that can shoot and guards that can penetrate and make plays for everybody else.
Let's talk to or get a comment from Taylor here, who lives in Ankeny, before we take a break. Coach, it's the annual Suits and Sneakers game. Will you be in a suit on Wednesday or just your assistants?
Well, I wear a shirt and tie every game, so I just kind of prefer that.
You consider that a suit?
Yeah, I don't totally know. I participate in it from a financial perspective, meaning from Coaches vs. Cancer perspective.
Sure.
I just kind of wear the same thing every game, regardless. And so I got the blessing from my mom a few years ago because she had breast cancer, and I was like, okay, if I don't wear the shoes, is that okay? And she's like, well, as long as you donate money to cancer research, then I'm fine with it. But if you don't donate money, then I'm not fine with it. I said, all right,
yeah,
Mom.
it's a great organization.
Yep.
I know my mother said the same thing
Yep.
when I got involved with them. She said, they're a good organization.
Absolutely.
So are you saying you're not wearing the sneakers?
I don't know yet. What do you think I should do?
Well, I wear size 11. So if
I have a size 11 Air Force Ones.
Ooh.
You'd have to wear them, but they have the George Raveling little signature on the side of them.
I'll wear them. I'll represent you.
There you go.
Now, I'm pigeon-toed. I hope that's okay.
That doesn't matter.
Right,
just as long as you don't put creases on them, because then I can't,
And they sell them, don't they, Coach? Don't they auction them off?
No, just so they auction when we do the actual Coaches vs. Cancer banquet. Yep. They have specific shoes that these people make, and they spray paint them, and they're really cool. And I wear them the whole night, and then they auction them off, which I feel bad for whoever gets those. But
why is that?
I don't know.
You wear socks, don't you?
Yeah.
All right.
Size 11 and a half, but they're really cool shoes. And so they do it with the Iowa State, Drake, you and I, and then us, University of Iowa, and all those coaches are really heavily involved in it, and they're awesome representatives too.
Big deal. Coaches versus cancer, and I want to throw in too the dance marathon is coming up at the IMU with the students. Iowa, when I last checked, was number 2, the student body, number 2 in the country to only Penn State in the millions of dollars they raised for not only Stead Family Children's Hospital, but for the cause to fight cancer. So it's a big week and a half coming up for Coaches versus Cancer, and we hope everybody listening will participate and send in a check, okay? We're going to take a break on Hawk Talk with Coach McCullum. Let's pause 10 seconds right now for station identification along the Hawkeye Radio Network. We're at the Hyatt Regency in the Watermill Kitchen and Bar. You're listening to Hawk Talk with Coach McCullum. All right, we're back. Okay, let Iowa Hoops. Coach wants to take one more question before we go to a break.
We're back.
Yeah, we're back.
Oh, I thought we were off.
Yeah, no.
We have a history with Hawkeyes.
We were off for 10 seconds.
Oh, my fault.
That's station identification.
I apologize.
First mistake you made all year.
No, I apologize.
And you didn't say anything that would get you suspended.
And I'm trying to do your job.
I know. That's okay. I need help.
I know.
All right.
He had to do Jan Jensen earlier. I don't know if you heard that. Yeah, so he's been working overtime.
It's been a long night. I mean, but an enjoyable one. All right, Iowa, from the Iowa Hoops web, was McCullum and or staff in on Keaton Wagler out of Kansas? Any reason he wasn't offered? Seems odd. A player of that caliber's only high major offers were Illinois and Minnesota. There's always a great story behind a kid who is recruited or isn't recruited.
Yes.
But I tell you what, he had a day against Purdue, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, they switched ball screens, which probably wasn't the best option for them at the time, but it seemed like it because it's like, well, if we let this guy go for a lot, then shut everybody else down, it'll work.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we did. I'm not totally sure, but I would guess that when we were at Drake, because we were at Drake at the time, that we might have been the first Division I to offer him, maybe. If we weren't, we were right there. So we offered him well before Illinois did. We offered him well before Minnesota did. So we were on him a lot. And then at the last, I think it was the last tournament that he played in, played great in the championship. And then Illinois ended up offering him, and it was kind of his only high major offer. I guess Minnesota, he had that as well. And we thought we were going to get him at Drake, to be perfectly honest.
Oh, wow.
So I remember the last in-home that I did with him, and, we thought we were right there. But then NIL came into the equation, and we couldn't match that at Drake. So, yes, to answer your question, I think we did well before even Illinois did.
And if you do the translation there, just think of the players like Keaton Wagler that Ben's going to get going forward now that he's at Iowa. On that note, we'll take a break, come back with more of your questions and comments. We're brought to you tonight by Iowa Corn and the Iowa Corn Cy-Hawk Series. Iowa Corn promoting honest, hardworking values that are uniquely Iowan. Thanks to Iowa's corn farmers who lead the nation in corn and ethanol production, feeding and fueling us all. Go to iowacorn.org and learn how corn grows Iowa. Back with more Hawk Talk from the Hyatt Regency in the Watermill Kitchen and Bar with Coach McCullum. Next from Learfield.
You might think Iowa grows corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa. Corn can even fuel your drive to watch the Hawkeyes play when you choose Unleaded 88. It's a fuel that's cheaper, cleaner, and greener. Plus, it's homegrown, making Unleaded 88 the clear choice at the pump and totally worth the hype. So as you head to cheer on the Hawkeyes this season, don't just fuel up. Pump it up with Unleaded 88. Find Unleaded 88 at a station near you. Go to iowacorn.org/88.
Cancer doesn't care. It doesn't care what you look like, how old you are, what you do, or where you live. We do. University of Iowa Healthcare is doing more to beat cancer than anyone in the state. From second opinions to life-saving treatments that happen here first. We lead the way in research, training, and care. because we believe that UI Healthcare is here to make all of Iowa better. UI Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. Visit uihealthcare.org.
Iowa fans, with US Mode from US Cellular, you can keep your eye on the game, not on your screen. Whether you're inside the stadium, tailgating in the lots, or listening to the game at home, US Cellular wants you to focus on genuine connections with your family, friends, and fellow Hawkeye fans. That means at game time, you should do less scrolling and more cheering. So eliminate distractions and build connections by setting your phone to US Mode, because game day is for cheering on the Hawkeyes. Go Hawks! US Cellular, built for us.
Save time when you shop online with Hy-Vee. Hy-Vee makes it easy to order groceries online through our app or Hy-Vee.com. Pickup is always free. And if you have a Perks Plus membership, you get free delivery and free express pickup. Shop online with Hy-Vee and you can create and save grocery lists. Shop the sales and get fuel savers. Talk about convenient. Order groceries online today. Check out Hy-Vee.com or download the Hy-Vee app.
Go for the big Honda savings. Save thousands on the new Honda today with 0.99% financing. Go for the selection and inventory. Honda cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs are on sale. Get as low as 0.99% APR on a new 2025 Ridgeline. Go for the most Car and Driver 10 Best Awards with 98 trophies. Search your local Honda dealer today.
See dealer for financing details. Financing on credit approval. Offer ends 3/2/26.
Get ready, Hawkeye fans. New head coach Ben McCullum and the Iowa men's basketball team are ready to hit the hardwood. He's working hard into the corner. Koch hits a three. Oh, talk about catch and shoot. Carver Hawkeye Arena is heating up. Witness the electrifying plays in person and be a part of the roaring Carver crowd. Take in all the action happening at Carver Hawkeye Arena by visiting HawkeyeSports.com on Iowa, and go Hawks. Hawk Talk continues with Iowa basketball coach Ben McCullum. I'm Gary Dolphin with Bobby Hansen, and we'll be on the air with the USC game coming up Wednesday night, 5 o'clock pregame, 6 o'clock for the tip from Carver Hawkeye Arena. The Hawks go for win number 3 in a row, and then they head out to the West Coast to Eugene, Oregon, and then Seattle to take on the Oregon Ducks and the Washington Huskies. So big road trip coming up, but first things first, and let's go back to our questions on Twitter, and here's one from Facebook. Jim wants to know, Coach, who was your favorite Hawkeye basketball player growing up? Well, you tell him, because I've heard this story a couple times.
Yeah, it's B.J. Armstrong. Yeah, B.J. Armstrong, without a doubt. That's why I was number 10 when I was a player. B.J. Armstrong. He's my all-time favorite.
I know Chris Street was special to you as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you grow up as a guard, though, you're a BJ fan. Yeah, I mean that's what you are. Chris Street, obviously, from what Hawkeye basketball is what he is, and so two different things. But I always wanted to be B.J. Armstrong.
Both those guys.
I was never going to be Chris Street. Like that was not going to happen.
Never going to be 6'9"? Is that what?
No.
Both those guys would be good choices, though.
Yes. Coach, what do you remember about those Storm Lake camps?
A lot. I actually ironically, I just showed them a text message from Nick Collison. He just texted me a picture of when he was at the Buena Vista Northwest Iowa camp, and he was getting an award from B.J. Armstrong. And it was kind of wild. I was at the exact same camp as him, and it's like, wow, his mom kept a lot of stuff. But I remember those were my best, those were the best times. I mean, those were so fun. Because the coaches would be so engaged, and the coaches would coach it, and the players would coach it, and you'd get gear if you won the trivia stuff, and I won all the trivia because I knew all the answers to all the questions. So I'd get all the Hawkeye gear, and they'd have old practice shorts and stuff like that, and they'd try to wear them afterwards.
Was that a Hawkeye camp? I don't remember the name of it.
Northwest Iowa Hawkeye camp.
Northwest Iowa Hawkeye camp. Okay.
Yeah, it's a Hawkeye
I remember
camp.
when they did. Jerry Strom would.
Jerry was the best. Yes.
Jerry. He'd take those guys over there. Jeff Settles, I think, would go there. McCausland.
Oh, all of the whole all of them would go. Yeah, Jerry. Yeah. Jerry was the best. Jerry Strom. He was the best.
All right, let me show you this last year. Okay, what happened to it, Corey? We're showing
for those of you on the radio,
this is last year out at Southern Cal.
Wow.
There's BJ with Bobby and I at the the broadcast table.
Yeah.
And BJ with the Kings. Was he with the Kings?
He is now.
Kings.
He is now.
He was with his agent Arn Tellem. He was running whatever the agency is.
Wasserman.
Yeah, Wasserman, living out in L.A.
Yep.
Tom Davis, that Northwest Iowa camp was so important to Coach Davis. He loved going up to that beautiful part of the state where you were growing up at the time, and that was a huge camp, hundreds of kids every year.
Oh yeah, no, it was everybody in Northwest Iowa. That was what you look forward to every summer, and so it was awesome.
All right, back to Twitter, Facebook, and our text messages. Jim is in Coralville. I have a question about how you teach your players to short roll or roll to the basket after setting ball screens, and in particular, when should they turn and open up to the ball after setting the screen or just turn and go? I've seen your players do both. Does this depend on the ball screen coverage or whether a middle or side ball screen is being set up? Is it up to the individual player? Sounds like a coach.
Can you answer that question for me, Gary?
I can answer any question. I'd rather hear your answer.
Well, here's my answer. So you set a ball screen. So my old teams used to pick and pop. So we would set a screen and we would pop. We'd be able to shoot threes, or we'd shot fake and drive off of that, what we call gravity, so people would be really concerned with our shooting. So then we were able to drive off of that with our guards, or they'd have to switch, in which case they would switch and we'd get inside. Fast forward to when we got Bennett, we didn't have as much shooting on the floor, and so our big guys couldn't shoot. So you had to find a way to leverage what they could do, gravity essentially, and then get to the paint while you're setting ball screens. So basically what they would do is they would short roll rather than long roll. So a long roll would be like the lobs that you see at the rim. A long roll puts pressure on the rim because then you have to tag off of guards from the other side of the floor, meaning the other guard's man has to help on a long roll. Mm-hmm. So then you can skip out to guards for shots. So that's your paint pressure. A long roll, if I set a ball screen and I dive, it puts pressure on the paint. You know what the paint is?
Yeah, I do know what the lane
it's
and
the
paint
lane
is, yes.
Okay? So it's the lane. So that puts pressure on that lane. When you put pressure on the lane, the defense pinches in. When the defense pinches in, now I can skip out to shooters. Those shooters have closeouts. When those shooters have closeouts, now they can attack the basket even more. So we continue to attack the paint. We get layups and we get kick-out threes. Make sense? You with me so far? Hold on. I haven't answered the question yet, Dolph.
You haven't? Well, it was a long question.
I'm trying to explain to you so you can do this on the air, and then it's like, oh my gosh, Dolph is so smart.
I was going to defer to Bobby, but that's okay.
Yeah, Bobby could. Yeah, and so
I'm taking notes.
Okay, so now we're talking about a short roll because we don't have lob catchers. They can catch lobs, but not in traffic. So now we short roll, which would be a pocket pass. So the pocket pass, as long as we can get below the defense slightly, and then Bennett throws those little pocket passes over and over, which is an elite skill set, very difficult to do. Mm-hmm. Kale's really good at it as well. We get it in the pocket. Now help comes. Now you're able to kick out the shooters. If help doesn't come, the bigs go and finish, which is what you saw at the end of the game. So how do we determine how they set the screen and dive? If they're up in coverage, you open to the ball because that ball is going to get to you really quick. If they're back in coverage, you can stay close to the ball, and then you can go straight and sprint, would be the answer to a long question. It's irrelevant as to where they're at on the floor, whether it's a side pick and roll or a middle pick and roll. If they're up in coverage, you open to the ball. And if they're back in coverage, you can stay closed, and you want to set that screen so you can create an advantage. How about all that?
That's a mouthful, Coach.
Yep.
That was very well explained.
Thank you.
I mean,
sometimes they like to hear the X's and O's
the
stuff.
Technical explanation, yeah.
Yep.
Bobby, what did you prefer, or which did you prefer?
He preferred a
with
pin
Stockton.
Down. He preferred a pin down.
Or BJ.
Oh, we ran plays. I mean, well, other than playing with BJ, yeah, and we ran the triangle offense, which is all predicated on just pass wherever it went. Never throw it to the corner. You then get trapped in the corner there. So you always kept the ball at the top of the key. You had that backside pinch post. Horace Grant or Dennis Rodman was on that backside. Then you ran the action, but you're always reversing the ball so the ball doesn't stick. And Tex Winter, who designed the triangle offense, he would get so mad at Michael when Michael would hold the ball on the right side.
If I was Michael, I'd hold it too.
you get out of the way and go. But no, he'd call timeout, and he would pass the ball, Michael, pass the ball. And they'd go at each other a little bit, but the triangle worked when the ball moved, and that's what I appreciate. I don't know all the pocket passing and all that he's talking about, but it's your ball movement.
It moves,
when you move the side to side, and against the zone, it was impressive when he hit the middle there. I think it was Cam at the free throw line. I don't remember who it was against, but we asked you after the game, and you're like, I'm going to show that tape to those guys, over and over and over. The ball never hit the floor, and a three-pointer in the corner. I think it was Tate Sage maybe that hit the three.
That was a pocket pass, yep. And so John Stockton was elite at pocket passes, elite. And then we actually have a Stockton pass when they would switch. Stockton would kind of swivel back around and hit Karl Malone for a duck in. And so a lot of those passes now, they would go all empty pick and rolls. And he would do a variety of different things. He could also pop to 15 feet, Karl Malone, but he was also Karl Malone.
There were times when Mark Eaton and I and Ivoroni would stand out. We were three guys.
Space.
And they'd run a two-man game over there.
You were in corner series. Stand in the corner and wait for the ball to come in.
I'd go to the corner until the end, but how about on the high?
There you go.
On the wing, on the high side.
Imagine Stockton holding the ball, waiting for Karl Malone to clear so he could get it to him.
Yeah, there you go.
They're looking for a mismatch. I mean,
what the heck?
They're Hall of Famers.
Yes, they were
for sure.
The best.
All right, we got to take a break, gentlemen. We'll come back. We're brought to you here by the Hyatt Regency and the Watermill Kitchen and Bar. Newly engaged and looking for the perfect place to say I do? The Hyatt Regency Coralville is located in the heart of the Iowa River Landing, and it offers beautiful ballrooms and scenic outdoor spaces for weddings of all sizes. From your ceremony to your reception and guest accommodations, everything comes together under one roof. To schedule a tour, visit Hyatt Regency Coralville Weddings.com. And we're back for the Midwest One Bank Scouting Report on USC right after this on Hawk Talk with Coach McCullum from Learfield.
Tournament Club of Iowa, designed by golf legend Arnold Palmer. TCI is his only signature course in the state. TCI is a public course offering a challenging yet enticing experience for golfers of all levels and is managed by Kaler Golf. Cap off your round with breathtaking views and a delicious meal at the TCI Bar and Grill. Looking for a unique setting for your wedding party or outing? Look no further than the newly renovated clubhouse at TCI. Visit tcofiowa.com to book your tee time today.
Attention Hawkeye fans, Big Grove is proud to be an official craft brewery of the Iowa Hawkeyes. Whether you're at the game or watching from home, Big Grove has got you covered. Enjoy an easy Eddie from the stands or visit them for every Hawkeye game at any of their 4 convenient Iowa locations in Iowa City, Cedar Rapids, Des Moines, or Solon. Big Grove Brewery, your official watch party headquarters of the Hawkeyes. Go Hawks! Big Grove Brewery, an official craft brewery of the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Hello, Iowa. Here's a promise. Wherever you are in this great state, University of Iowa Healthcare is here for you, even if you never walk through our doors. Educating, caring, leading research, sharing our expertise with all. Because we believe that UI Healthcare is here to make all of Iowa better. UI Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. Visit uihealthcare.org.
Celebrate the legendary Donnie Baker with a night of non-stop laughs at the Donnie Baker Ron Sexton Memorial Tour coming to Riverside Casino and Golf Resort. On Friday, January 30th, hear fellow Bob and Tom Show comedians Bob Zaney, Greg Hahn, and Kostaki Economopoulos share outrageous stories and never-before-heard moments from the road. Purchase your tickets for this heartfelt and hilarious tribute now at riversidecasinoandresort.com or stop at our gift shop. It's going to be a night of laughs you won't forget.
You asked for all the extreme internet performance at an all-in price, and we listened. Get 1 gig internet with a 2-year price lock and everything included. Unlimited data for non-stop streaming, powerful Wi-Fi for enhanced coverage, built-in online threat protection, and internet equipment. All for just $65 a month for 2 years. It's the extreme 1 gig internet deal you asked for. Call 844-4FASTER or visit extreme.com for details. Offer available to new customers only. Price doesn't include one-time charges, tax, and government fees.
From the roar of the crowd to Carver cones, can't miss plays and heart-pounding finishes. There's something for everyone at an Iowa athletics event. Don't just hear about it or see the clip on your phone. Be part of it. Change up your routine and get your friends together for an Iowa athletics event. Make it a memorable one by visiting HawkeyeSports.com. Fire up the fight song, cue the victory polka, and experience what it means to be a Hawkeye on Iowa, and go Hawks. We're back on Hawk Talk with Iowa basketball coach Ben McCullum. Got about 10 minutes left to go on the program here tonight. DanceMarathon.org. Wanted to get that address out there. You can pledge now to the Dance Marathon. DanceMarathon.org. Of course, the Hawks and Coaches versus Cancer suits and sneakers coming up Wednesday night. We're going to get the scouting report from Coach McCullum here shortly. But Dance Marathon, the big event, is February 6th and 7th. And they raise upwards of $2 million at that. It's just a phenomenal get-together for that weekend. All right, back to the, let's see, is this Twitter? Yeah, Twitter. Katie and Moline. Coach, are you surprised at how well Price Sanford is playing at Nebraska? Well, he's always been a great shooter. I mean, I'm not surprised that maybe his scoring average is perhaps higher than, but look at Freddie and that Husker team. They're having an unbelievable year.
Yeah, no, I think he's playing great. Obviously, he's really shooting it. I think the offense, fits kind of what he does, his style of game, where it's very free-flowing, and they shoot a lot of threes, and they shoot them with not a lot of conscience, which is really good. And he's obviously making a lot of them, which has been great. So no, we're not incredibly surprised that he's had that kind of year, and we're certainly happy for him and obviously any former Hawkeye. I think some of these circumstances are always tricky when there's a coaching change, but guys that played for, the University of Iowa, are still obviously welcome here. Obviously, hopefully we won't be too welcoming here, but I think that with these coaching changes, sometimes, you can kind of get a bad name or whatever, and you really, you don't need that. They came to play for a certain coach, and that coach left, and they chose to leave as well. So there's nothing but love there, and certainly appreciate everything that.
With more choices for care and service and coverage that give you peace of mind no matter what comes your way, so you can show up for every tender moment, every brave moment, and every wouldn't miss it for the world moment, knowing that Blue is here for you. Go to Walmart.com/everymoment to find a plan right for you.
How do you become America's best-selling brand? Let's break it down. Innovative tech means smarter and safer driving. Intelligent all-wheel drive will keep you ready for anything. And built Ford tough trucks will always get the job done. Plus, come into your local Ford store today and get super low APR financing, big cash back, and great lease offers on Ford's full line of cars, trucks, and SUVs. That's Ford, and that's how you become America's best-selling brand. Sales claim based on calendar year sales.
Cancer doesn't care. It doesn't care what you look like, how old you are, what you do, or where you live. We do. University of Iowa Healthcare is doing more to beat cancer than anyone in the state. From second opinions to life-saving treatments that happen here first. We lead the way in research, training, and care because we believe that UI Healthcare is here to make all of Iowa better. UI Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. Visit uihealthcare.org.
Comedy powerhouse Dane Cook is coming to Riverside Casino and Golf Resort on Friday, February 13th. Known for his unparalleled stage presence and outrageous observational humor, Cook's catalog has been streamed over 1 billion times worldwide. Along with his unforgettable comedic genius, he has starred in movies such as My Best Friend's Girl, Employee of the Month, and Good Luck Chuck. Don't miss out. Get your tickets now at riversidecasinoandresort.com or visit our gift shop.
In Minnesota, we don't hide from winter. We embrace it. When there's a nip in the air, we take on the trails. For every layer you wear, there's a new experience waiting for you.
It's a little unbecoming to lick the bowl, but...
Plan your next trip at exploreminnesota.com.
All right, our remaining moments with Coach McCullum. Big Ten basketball final, Ohio State edged Penn State in Columbus 84-78. Duke has defeated Louisville 83-52. Arizona and BYU just underway. Let's get our scouting report from Coach McCullum for Southern Cal on Wednesday night. It's brought to you by Midwest One Bank. Where do you start with the Trojans? They've got a bunch of top-notch transfers led by Chad Baker-Mazara. Let's start with him. He can do it all.
Yeah, he's a good player. Obviously gets to the free throw line a ton. They lead the country in free throws. They do a good job of kind of initiating some of that contact and being able to get to the free throw line. He's elite at that. They've got a lot of talent, and I mean, they got 12, 14 guys that are all extremely talented that could start at a lot of places, and so them trying to balance that is probably their biggest trick. But yeah, they've got a lot of talent from an offensive and defensive perspective.
What do you do defensively? I mean, how do you take them out of their rhythm?
Yeah, I mean, I think you just have to guard the way you guard. I don't think it's anything that you have to get carried away with. I think it's the same every game. You got to box out. You got to make sure they don't score in transition, keep them off the free throw line, all those different things. And, hopefully our guys are ready to do that.
Ezra Assar is also a solid player. He's a great compliment to Mazar, isn't he?
Yeah, excellent athlete, good finisher, physical body, great offensive rebounder. Him and Kofi are two of the best offensive rebounders there are, just super physical and super athletic. So we need to make sure that we keep them off the glass and keep them out of ISO situations.
They really hurt the Hawks when we were out there last year in transition. Now Iowa turned the ball over too that night, but they got some guys that can get out and go.
Oh, yeah. No, they got some talent now. They're void of that. They'll get out and go. They'll shoot it quick sometimes, and then, I think when the game gets on the line, they'll obviously put it in Baker Mazar's hands and see if he can take over.
6 o'clock tip, 5 o'clock pregame here on the Hawkeye Radio Network. Our Midwest One Bank scouting report, thanks to Coach McCullum, is brought to you by Midwest One Bank, presenting sponsor of Hawkeye men's basketball. Proud partner of doers and entrepreneurs. Our teams are ready to help you reach your business goals. Midwest One Bank is empowered money management, member FDIC. Coach, it's been fun. Thanks a lot. We'll see you Wednesday at Carver. Keep it going.
Thank you, sir. See you then.
Bobby, thank you, bud.
Thank you,
Appreciate it.
Great job, Dolph. You did double duty tonight.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
Tip.
Enjoy it. USC on Wednesday, 5 o'clock pregame, 6 o'clock for the tip here on the Hawkeye Radio Network. Our next show with Coach McCullum is live from Seattle next Monday, February 2. Good night, everybody.
Live from the Watermill Kitchen and Bar inside the Hyatt Regency in Coralville. This has been Hawk Talk with Coach Ben McCollum. Brought to you by Iowa Corn. You might think Iowa just grows corn, but the truth is corn grows Iowa. Brought to you by Iowa's corn farmers of the Iowa Corn Growers Association and the Iowa Corn Promotion Board. By your local Ford dealers. Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle. Your Iowa John Deere dealers. John Deere loves to see the Hawkeyes do their thing, because if anyone can appreciate building a legacy, it's Deere. Lennox and your local Lennox home comfort specialist. Made right here in Iowa since 1895. Mediacom, home of extreme and 1 gig internet speeds. Mid-American Energy. Mid-American Energy is proud to deliver affordable, reliable energy to you all season long. Midwest One Bank is the presenting sponsor of Hawkeye men's basketball. Midwest One, small enough to care, big enough to deliver. Member FDIC. Honda. To see how Honda crushes the competition, see your local Central Midwest Honda dealer. Honda gets the Midwest. Shelter Insurance. The ball is in your court. Visit shelterinsurance.com to find an agent who can help you with your auto, home, and life insurance needs. Also brought to you by University of Iowa Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. And by U.S. Cellular, the official wireless partner of the Iowa Hawkeyes. U.S. Cellular, built for us. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Hawkeye Sports Network.